before it says you're live. That's the camera you're looking at.
Yeah.
Hey, team, how we going? Here's Kaz from In the Trenches with Kaz, and I'm not here alone. Our co-owner of In the Trenches with Kaz, the hitman, Aaron Dixon, right beside me.
Cheers, team. Thanks, Kaz. Thanks for having me on the show. Awesome.
No worries, mate.
Appreciate it.
He's done his back at the moment, but that's all right. We'll grip through it. If you're watching this at the moment, because we haven't seen any comments come up yet, then you're probably thinking, fantastic, it's about time. We wanted a podcast, and this is as close as you're going to get to a podcast. We've got November rain, okay, a little bit like purple rain, I guess. You're first off the rank when it comes to comments. Well done. You're the first to this portion of what should be a weekly stream that comes to you with not just the voice of Kaz, but the voice of Ireland. Paddy Rose here, Aaron Dixon.
Who's Paddy Rose?
I just made it up. Hector, Diffused a Bomb. Good to have you here, mate. It's been a while, Diffuse. Angus Hooper, overflowing stage through Pitt, is actually in the military as we speak, and he is 343.
Good job.
He is, and he's probably experiencing the cold now. We've got Emma. Good to have you here, love. We've got Lucas James Films, Zach Wellman. We've got Kingsley, 1108. Fitness for Life. Tell me about it when you're 40. We've got Barra, the freshwater fish there, and Jessica Morrison. Good to have you here, my dear. We've got Robbie Williams. No, the Freeman. I wish we were all free. And moving down, we'll get to you in a second, Aaron. We've got Aaron Dixon here.
There's some people rolling in. It's good to see.
Yeah. We've got Drew here. We've got the lovely Lauren, who is shining on JP's birthday. JP, happy birthday, mate. Happy birthday, Helen. See, he's already fitting in. Tommy Dozer, Kaz, stay around tonight. Well, watch the replay. All good, mate. All good. Tommy Dozer, good to have you here, my man. Kaz, can't stay around. Yep, that's him. Aaron never comes up short. That's Aaron Mills, nearly 7 foot tall.
Millsy. Sounds like a basketballer.
Giuliano, fantastic name. You should go to the Jocko. Are you talking to me or the people that are watching? To go to Jocko's, which is a different slice of cake, a cheaper version, if you will, black and gold.
Jocko's or Chocos?
No, Jocko. I never get time to do it because I'm always looking at something to give to you. So I don't want to give you just another version of military wisdom sort of thing. And we've got some really good go-tos to hand over to you tonight while I'm trying to cleanse my brain of one of the worst impacts I've ever seen, a bull on a stoic Spanish man's face that disappeared after that headbutt. You may have seen it. Put a thumbs up if you've seen that now.
Thanks, Corey Smith, for sending that to me. Far out.
Takes your breath away. Brody, hey, Kaz, how's it going? It's going well, mate. Brody's my favourite fast food up in Townsville, other than Cactus Jack's, which isn't fast except on the way out the next day. Who else we got? Sad Sober Cobra. The voice is beautiful. The voice of Ireland. Dave D, officer in the house. Peter Cram. Hey, Kaz, did my use session today? Keen to get going. So you've gone from online to online. Enjoy your seat tonight, mate. Kane Higgins, all the way from Mackay. Kane, you can't be ringing me before my daughter gets here in the morning. I'm homeschooling at the moment.
Homeschooling.
Put a thumbs up too if you're homeschooling or a hand wave.
It's a tough gig, and a big shout out to all those people that's homeschooling, because I'll tell you what, it's a rough gig. It's a good gig, but it's hard.
I'd die for my kid, but I can't keep me cool for my kid. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's a crazy world.
Nathaniel, g'day, mate. How you going? Brady Cars. Lauren, please have a thumbs up below. Okay, she's talking to everyone there. Guys and gals, we are going to be looking at the comments here, but I really want to do some respect to the co-owner now of In the Trenches with Kaz, for Aaron Dixon, the voice of Aaron Dixon, the hitman Aaron Dixon, who do you want to explain a little bit about yourself? He's come from Ireland. He's here now.
How do you start? Yeah. Well, I mean, you would have seen me a few times on different little inserts of the show every now and again, and just helping Kaz out with different messages that he's been trying to put out for you guys. And I've always said that I'll always support his channel and support Kaz whenever he needs me. So here I am. And I really appreciate you, Kaz, for having me on the show and actually making me a partner. So big thumbs up, and I really appreciate it. We did talk about in the past about a podcast, and I've been going through different podcast listings, and there is over 3 million podcasts currently throughout the world at the moment. And there is lots of other Australians out there, ex-military, that are already running podcasts with ideas that we had already stipulated and talked about. And I feel like, things may have got lost in translation there with us trying to put out another podcast while Dean's already got a show already up and running,
And I'll just step in for a second. And that's why I brought Aaron on board. Not only has he been the longest supporter and assistant of the channel, as far as also with Patreon, helping us out, being the camera guy, being the second person there on the ground that allows me not to look like such a weirdo as I approach strangers and say, hey, we want to change your life a little bit. We're from a YouTube channel called In the Trenches with Kaz. You don't need to subscribe. We're going to help you out for free today. And knowing the background of podcasting, just how many there is out there, how competitive it is, what a hard job it is. Aaron hasn't even told you yet. He's a veteran too, of 2 different corps, multiple different operations he'll tell you about. But I just thought it might be easier just to invite you on.
Yep.
Stop your journey early of going out there and going through the financial side of setting up a podcast, so to speak, setting up a schedule, by allowing you to have a chair that he walks straight into and allows you to have a voice.
Yeah.
And it allows me to comfortably sit here and be able to talk to things rather than just a screen, a second opinion, if you will. And it gives him some grounding as a veteran as well.
Yeah, I really appreciate that, Dean. Yeah, awesome. So, look, it's my first real sort of gig at this type of thing. So if I'm a bit nervous, I apologise.
So tell us a bit more about yourself. When did you come to Australia? Tell them about your boxing. Tell them about.
Oh, geez, my boxing was very limited. But look, I come over to.
But undefeated.
Come over to Australia in '89. Immigration. It was a bit of a tough gig. I don't know if any people out there have been immigrants yourselves, but it's a bit of a, it's a tough gig because kids being kids will take the piss, and I seem to get in a lot of fights and growing up, and that was just the way I was. And so being Irish, I fought a lot, and that's how I sort of resolved a lot of those issues. And eventually joined the Australian Army and went straight to infantry back in, I was about to say 92, that's wrong, 98. Went through Kapuka.
I remember you turning up.
And it was a funny story. I know Reza and a few of the boys had actually heard about me from Singleton because I got in a few biffs there as well. And they're like, "Oh, are you Dicko?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm Dicko. Didn't you get in a couple of fights at Singleton?" I was like, "Nah," because I was trying to play the quiet guy, the shadow man. And anyway, but long story, I really enjoyed my time. Went to 2 RAR straight away, and my section commander at the time, Rhodesy, I'll never forget it. I put in for 3 RAR because I wanted to go para. And out of that, I was in Samajon platoon. And out of that platoon, I was the only guy that didn't go to 3 RAR. I was the only guy that went to 2 RAR. And I was completely gutted and devastated because I'd grown up in Sydney my whole life. I thought I'll be able to still live in Sydney, catch a train to work, go to Holdsworthy, still go home.
Emma just asked, did I give you the good chair? No, I've got the good chair.
I've actually had to pump it up, but I'll certainly invest in a better chair when the time is right.
We're going to get Dicko a chair. Yeah, we will.
Anyway, I'm blabbering too much, but long story short, I went straight to 2 RAR. I was only there for, I think it was like 6 months before Interfet kicked off.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of guys kicking around then with basically nothing. Like just there might have been the odd Vietnam vet. There was a guy, what's his name? John Toomey.
Yep.
John Toomey was still at the battalion who was there during the Vietnam War period.
He got there just as the last guys came back. So if you want to know what it feels like to be bullied, imagine being the only guy that hasn't been to war.
Yeah, well, John Toomey had been in the battalion at that point in time over 25 years. And so I'd only been in the battalion, I think it might have been maybe 7 or 8 months, and then bang, Interfet. And there I am off.
Yep.
And that was amazing experience.
Do you remember our first encounter? I don't.
Right.
But I was a celebrity then, you weren't. So you were the new guy.
I do, at Singleton.
At Singo?
Yes.
Was I instructing there when you
were a Lance Jack and come in? What was the old enemy? The Missourians?
Yeah, 10 IRC.
Yeah, that was it. You come in and showed us all the different Missourian weapon components
That didn't work.
and how your operations worked and how we were going to counteract it and all that. You were there
Okay.
giving like a demonstration on some of the different weapon parts.
And then basically followed you back to the battalion.
And then, yeah, you must have then come back to the battalion as a full track. Did you come back as a full track?
No, I went to East Timor because I've always walked away from rank and responsibility because I always wanted to just go to Cactus Jacks, and I was very easy to please. So I was one of the longest lance corporals that there's ever been because I was always, no, you can do that subject course. I want to party, go to the Mad Cow because I thought more is more.
Yeah.
The chance of meeting Mrs. Right is bound to happen if I use exactly the same come online, exactly the same dance move to tribal dance, and basically wear exactly the same clothes and the same brute that I used to wear.
I was a life member of the Bank nightclub. Still am.
I was a mad cowboy.
Love the
Hate
bank.
the bank.
Love the bank.
Go to the bank. Hate the bank. Not the Commonwealth.
But yeah, so that's my earliest memory of you. But in the battalion, I'll never forget this. Dean was mad into delegating people doing freaking heaves and push-ups, and I was not very inclined to doing PT. I wasn't a big fan. I was just always that guy who would try and win my way out of everything. But I saw you. It was after knockoff. And I could see in the distance, like the sun was coming down, and I saw Dean doing heaves. It was like a black outline, like just the shadow. Just go, and then as he got off the heave beam, he done like this Karate Kid where he's just like, and kicking. And I was just like, who the fuck is that guy?
Nutsu Cow, the White Warrior.
What's this dude doing? And then it turned out it was you. That's one of my best memories of you of all time.
Someone just asked, what was your best memory?
That was, and then funny, like throughout our whole lives, intermediately before now, I live basically up the road in Richmond, and Dean lives in Penrith. But so we're not too far. So intermediately throughout our 20 odd years that we've known each other, we've sort of kind of caught up. Like when I got out, and another friend of ours was living in Sydney at Holdsworthy.
Chris?
Yeah, you sort of popped in again and popped out, and you had brought some dude over from England. I went out and pierced some British.
He was a fucking weirdo, that dude.
That
soccer shirt, he wore one of those silk shirts, and he'd be embarrassed.
He was from Newcastle upon Tyne, man. It was all like, and he was just mad as a cut snake.
And having Northern Ireland Aaron Dixon, I thought this is not going to go down well at all. And we've already
behaved, actually. We were, I think.
But I've never met anyone that could, and I know some alcoholics, but this guy could have 4 bottles of wine and still be able to walk in a dead straight line. It was like it didn't affect him at all. I've never seen anything like it.
Machine.
But he was so fucking embarrassing. He'd wear those silk shirts and weird pants that didn't match. It was like a British smile. It just didn't match anything. Sorry for our UK people here. So this is your channel, as you know. When we hear about Jocko and we hear about the motivational channels, they're awesome. They are awesome, team. But this is yours. This is where you get to speak. Jack Smith, how you going, mate? I'm supposed to be talking to you tomorrow, aren't I, Jackie? And we get back to you. You can reach out to us. We answer your questions. There is what would you call it? There is the character that is the military veteran. There is with Jocko and all that. It's an unsurmountable mountain that you look at and think, hey, shit, I'd love to be like that. It's fantastic. He's a character. He's a celebrity, etc. But you're never going to get a message back. When you come here and you're about to face your own ordeals and you see ordinary people that sit behind a mic that are talking to you, reaching out, humble, letting you be part of this big lounge room, it's an absolute fantastic experience for me. Mr. P, there he is at the moment, not the best of health, and he gets to enjoy this from his lounge room and gets to sling at us and say you've been talking too long or whatever. Young ladies, young guys, get to come here and visit and ask questions. What am I in for? And it is not in any part of our, what do you call it? operandi to bullshit to you. We don't need to, because we'll be found out that quick.
100%. Yeah, I totally agree.
I'm just
We're trying to get used to this microphone. It's actually, if you've got the headset on, it's just like,
I'm just trying to hide
Was that
my
loud?
ears. Yeah,
Mm.
I'm just trying to
Good.
hide my ears. I've still got the Ellen DeGeneres hairstyle. You know, it's not growing out.
Actually, just a big shout out to the people who listen. Can everyone hear me quite clearly from this distance, so we don't have to keep moving the mic?
This is the black Blue Yeti, which will confuse some. It's brand new. We had a few sound dramas before. This sound
awesome.
actually seems fairly good at the moment.
Yeah.
The lighting is Elgato as well. This is a black Blue Yeti, which is a racist comment in itself.
Sounds good. Happy days.
And at the moment, I think we're all sitting back waiting for the world to come back alive. I think everyone is looking at the lack of common sense in coming back to normality. Today, I don't know if you've heard, but Memorial Day is coming up. I believe that's the last Monday of May, you know, that happens in the USA. And that's sort of equivalent slash between our Anzac Day and our Memorial Day, our Remembrance Day.
Yep.
And the Boy Scouts, this has been going on forever, have been told they are not to, on Memorial Day, go and put flowers down to the fallen, you know, because of COVID. You're
Ridiculous.
going, what?
Stop it.
Stop it. I don't understand.
I was a scout for one day, but I was actually a cub for years.
You were too good looking to be a scout. You would have got molested the first day.
No, I was actually immigrating to Australia. So I got to become a scout because beavers, cubs, and then one day as a scout. And that was it. Just one day, because I was immigrating the following week. But I loved it.
I was a forward scout for 5 years. That's why I hate smokers so much. They gave himself away like that. If someone's smoking, he used to be a smoker.
I was a dirty smoker. Yeah, retired now. Oh,
if you don't smoke and you're at the front of a call sign and someone smokes, that tells you, one, they don't know you're coming, and two, the smoke lingers in the air, and basically like a dog to a bone, I know exactly where to go.
I actually can't believe I used to smoke.
It's pretty filthy.
About 8 years I quit now.
Don't take it up, team. If you do already, not here to judge you, but if you don't smoke yet, do not take it up when you get to military, because you see some people that smoke and think that's a way of getting a 5-minute Blakey time off tools. Don't do it.
You start smoking when you're 5 and on.
It sucks. Thomas Walmark, you used to do it because you're in Northern Ireland, lighting fuses. You fucking terrorist. Love listening to you, Kaz. I have my PFA coming up. Can't wait to be a part of the ADF. We've got so many people at the moment that are getting in. We've got people at the moment in School of Infantry because of the COVID. You know, this is another weird one. When you go to the ADF, just smack me in the head if I don't get it. You go to the Kapooka. It doesn't matter if you're Air Force, whether you're Army, whatever. The first thing they do in the morning, boom, COVID test. As soon as they say, yeah, okay, you're COVID free, you're already quarantined. You should be able to roll all over each other like it's a Roman spa. You know, but they've got people when they come out of there after being together for 12 or 13 weeks, you know, 7 buses with 12 on at a time driving all the way to Singleton. You know, how much is that costing the government, you know, by people who have already been quarantined?
It's the same incubus. Why are they? It doesn't make no sense to me.
It doesn't make sense. And there's a cost to every single thing. Are they even doing bush at the moment at Kapooka?
I don't know. I'm so far. Oh, look, I'm so far out of the loop. I know I have friends that are instructors there at the moment, but I haven't spoken to many of my military friends in quite a while. So I don't really know.
Hector's asking you a question there, Dicko.
Yeah. Sorry, Hector, are you a Guinness drinker? Mate, 100% love my Guinness.
He kicks back into accent when he starts.
Yeah, sometimes it will, especially if I'm drunk, it'll kick back in. But yeah, I love Guinness, man. It's very hard to find a good Guinness in Australia on tap. Very hard, because Guinness in a can. Look, don't get me wrong, I'll drink it.
Hey, stick man.
But it's one of my faves.
Which is weird, because you sort of have been introduced to that since you were a young'un.
When I was 3.
When you're an Aussie, the first time someone pushes a Guinness towards you, it looks like an ashtray with milk in it. You're like, oh, I'm not going to drink that. It looks thick, but it doesn't. It wasn't that bad.
My dad genuinely gave me shandies from about 4 or 5. My earliest memories.
You're in a cold climate. It's fine.
It was pretty common back in the 80s. Pretty common.
Fugly's shopping at Bunnings, anything to get away from his little one. He's just had a brand new baby.
Congratulations, mate.
Yeah, called it Kaz.
Yeah, nice.
Joking.
Really?
No.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah, Bunnings is the go-to, in case you don't know, not trying to ruin the secret for the ladies out there, but when men go to Bunnings, we rarely buy something. And if we do, it's a token. It means we just need some time out.
Pretty much.
You see guys just leaning on tools in Bunnings like, oh, what can I buy that doesn't cost much? Oh, I really need a packet of seeds.
Yeah, no, it's crazy for that. Crazy.
It's just so weird career that we're looking back on. And Aaron will tell you in a minute what his career was, because he didn't just stay in infantry, which means that he's a fantastic source of information when it comes to, well, what do you do after infantry, or what is there instead of infantry? So you're going to get a professional perspective from someone looking back on a career that's done more than one, done operations, active operations as infantry, and also, I won't give it away now, his other corps, so that you get more of a 360 opinion on the military rather than just the 343 sharp end infantry biased partisan. Going to get from Hot Aussie Kaz, that I like to call myself, in my first ever email. So
nice.
Do you want to give them the all round sort of?
Look, I'll always speak the truth, and I'll give it to people honestly. The reason why I left infantry, right? So the second trip with Untayet was the most boringest infant. I can't even begin to explain how shit and boring. I wanted to be involved. I wanted to be involved in action, and I had these preconceived ideas of infantry. Infantry is 99% boredom. I'm going to just say straight out. There's 1% of it is actually
not if you got friends.
Right. It's a lot of sitting around. Okay, don't get me wrong. A lot of training, all that sort of stuff, and it's great. I loved it. But I had this very bad opinion when I got back from operations. I could not go back into a training environment. I was so bored with it. And I understand now, looking back, of course, you need to continually keep training because you have new people coming through. There's other different areas to go into and evolve. But I just cracked it. And I actually put my discharge in on the second trip.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm out. I can't deal with this anymore. So I got out. I was out for a couple of years, and I was like, I'd applied to be a prison officer, and things didn't work out. And I was like, shit, what am I going to do with myself? And a friend of mine, Stewie Denbin.
Have you heard of 176?
Did the sound just go?
I don't know.
Just sound like the sound just popped.
Still going there? Is the sound still going? I'm not really sure.
I don't know. Sound check.
Try providing security and medical.
It's back.
Stop.
Hello.
Are we back? Yeah, cool. So, So I was out for a couple of years, and it was actually during when the second Gulf kicked off, and I was like, "Holy shit!" I felt like I'd got out at the wrong time, and 2RAI actually deployed over there, and so did a lot of my friends. I was like, "Ooh." So anyway, a friend of mine goes, "Have you heard of 176 Air Dispatch Squadron?" And I'm like, "I'd never heard of it the entire time, because when I was in 2, my whole bubble was infantry, and that was it. We had support elements, but it was just you're just concentrating on what you're doing." So I went over to 176 and spent, I can't remember exactly, let's just say for now, 13, 14 years, I can't remember exactly. Reached the rank of corporal, had done all my sergeant's courses, would have been on promotion. That year I was medically discharged, but I had reached this, in my head, I was just like completely done. But I will say this, that time as an air dispatcher or